Hello, welcome to the studio. I'm Maria and it's time for art. Back in the classroom we're learning about Polynesian art and specifically the islands of New Zealand and the Maori and the Koru motif that is so prevalent throughout their artwork. And today I'm going to show you how to create your own Koru design that has radial symmetry. And we're going to be using Bristol board, pencils, colored pencils, black Sharpies. When you've finished coloring in your design, you're going to cut it out and glue it to a piece of construction paper that coordinates nicely with the other colors in your motif. So let's get started. As with all of our projects, you're going to read through all of the directions first and review the rubric below. You will be creating a Koru design with radial symmetry. That's going to be in a circular, balanced composition. And you're going to color it in with colored pencils. You're also going to be using black Sharpies to outline and create some patterns. You're going to need some thick and thin lines. You're going to need pattern, color, contrast, all of these wonderful elements and principles of art and design that are included in your rubric in your Google Classroom. So first thing we're going to do is plan our sketch. And as you can see here, I've done some sketches in my sketchbook. This is what you'll do. And then in the classroom, I'll come around and do what I just did for myself and help you critique your work and select the best composition from the sketches you've done. I may make notes, needs more thick and thin lines for more contrast. I may make other notations and then I will give you my official okie dokie and then you can get started. Again, your design needs to have radial symmetry, so we're going to use the compass. This is our safety compass. You might need to get a friend to help you draw your circle first on the Bristol board. Again, you do not get the Bristol board to get started until you have had a conversation with me and your design has been approved. So to get started, we want to use this. We want to place the compass in the center of my page here and select a dot that isn't going to go off the page. And you want one that's pretty big. So you want to maybe go out here as far as you can. And double check that it's not going to go off the top end of the page, and this one will. So if I move that down just a little bit, maybe then it won't go off at the bottom. And I'm just going to swing that around. And this is, again, I'm doing this without a net, folks. If it's easier for you to use this while getting a friend to hold the paper down, or work together to get it so that it's nice and straight and even. And once you have that done, then you're ready to go ahead and recreate your design here in pencil. Now I want to remind you of a couple of things here. Remember I talked about having a variety of thick and thin lines. So we have some, but we could have more. So when I get into this background area, I'm going to really key up some of those thick and thin lines and positive and negative spaces. I'm also going to make a decision here for this outer circle where I have smaller circles in there. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think what I'm going to do is continue on with this small delicate Koru design instead. And then eventually we're going to cut this out and glue that to colored paper. And I think this kind of an edge might work better than what I have drawn here. So those are kinds of changes that you can make as you're inking up your radial symmetry Koru design. So I'm just about done with the black Sharpie, but I realize when I look at this that I've got nothing but curved lines and circles, but I don't have any straight or angled lines in my design. And that's okay, but I like to mix things up with the angled lines and curved lines together. So I think instead of the circles or even the Koru motif, I think instead I'm going to create this sort of herringbone motif in here instead. So now that I've finished coloring in, I'm ready to cut out and glue this onto my 9x9 square piece of colored construction paper. I want to point out a couple of things here though. You see all of the color swatches I have out here on the side. We're going to be cutting this out, so I can use this excess Bristol board here to practice layering colors, and you can see how I've layered some of these colors in here. I don't like to use just a plain old colored pencil as is. Usually I like to layer them, and you can see how I'm experimenting out here with, I wonder what will happen if I layer blue over green, or brown over another kind of brown, or green over blue. So use this excess paper here to do just that as you're making color choices, and use your color wheel and your knowledge of color. And then we're going to cut it out and glue it to a piece of construction paper that works nicely with the colors that you've chosen. That works nicely with the colors you've chosen in your radial symmetry Koru design. And I don't like that either. Can we edit that out? Can we just start over? Hello, welcome to the studio. I'm Maria, and it's time for art. Today in the classroom, I'm going to teach you a little bit about something. It'll be fun, I promise. Take 3.